Folks at home, the reality of the situation continues to unfold. Elden Ring, more like Elden Snooze. Yesterday I said it was a 10 out of 10. Today it's a 4 out of 10, okay? So it went from a 10 out of 10 to a 4 out of 10. Elden Ring became Elden Snooze, okay? It was a total snooze fest playing that because here's the situation, folks. I beat 2 freaking bosses, and I'm not talking mini bosses. I'm talking story bosses, okay? We're talking Margaret. We're talking Godric. Demolished them, okay? And then after that, the game really fell off for me because you don't really have a total sense of where you need to be. Obviously, it guides you in the right direction, but that's literally it. And I spent 2 hours on the horse, and it killed the open world for me because there's nothing to do in the open world. It's kill, collect, kill, collect, kill, collect, kill, collect. Literally, there's nothing to do in the open world. And I honestly think that's the game's downfall, is that it is filler. It is grind. It is not fun. So you kill, collect in the open world, and then that eventually, as you put more time into it, just gets stale, repetitive, and it just seems like it's padding. And I would rather have a linear experience, to be totally frank, because after I fought Godric, I was like, okay, let's go to the main boss. Let's go to the next main boss, right? So I did that. I finally found where to go in this fucking other castle all the way across the fucking map, and now we're fighting the fox. And it's just the same game every second you play it, it's the same experience. You're not having a unique experience. You're not having anything that is unpredictable. The player becomes predictable to what is happening in the world, and I don't understand. I don't understand. What we're going to do here today, folks, as we wait for people to pile in, we don't have too much time out here today because the battery extender was not charged, so we probably got an hour and 30 minutes, if that. But I'll tell you what, folks, we brought back the list, okay? So if you support the show here today, we're going to immortalize you right here on this list, okay? So let's see who came through last time we did this list, and it's been months, okay? So, well, the first person's already on the list. Here we go.
Spaceman donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Either you one-shot the boss or you get one-shotted. Great exploration for sure. Elden Snooze facts.
I mean, I was literally laying down. I don't know if you guys were watching the stream last night. Wasn't the best stream in the world. None of these really are. But at the end of the day, I was literally on my fucking pillow trying to plow through this game. I mean, it is a total fucking snooze fest, man. You roam around on your goddamn donkey and you're like, Elden Ring. Oh, where's George R. Martin? Oh, wait, he ain't in this game. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry. Yeah, the first one on the list here today. Again, if you support the show, immortalized right here on the list, that's the reality of the situation. Elden Ring is more like Elden Snooze. I'm going to take it down from a 10 out of 10, like we said yesterday. We were, I guess, in the honeymoon phase, and now we're going to a 4 out of 10, folks. We're going to a 4 out of 10, and that's because I beat 2 bosses. I beat Godric. I beat Margaret. Okay, I beat those bosses, and they said I couldn't beat those bosses, and I beat those bosses, and then they got really pissed. And then in addition to that, now I become lost in the open world for 2 hours doing literally nothing, okay, collecting pointless shit and literally just seeing new enemies pop up. That's all this is. There's nothing in this open world that's dynamic. There's nothing in this open world that's actually unpredictable. You know what you're going to see. You're going to see some pointless shit to pick up, and you're going to see a fucking group of enemies. That's literally what you're going to see in this open world. So I honestly think the open world is actually, I might be more inclined now, since I got a grip on Elden Ring and I have some time into this like fucking formula in terms of the combat mechanics and the framework, I might actually go back to Bloodborne and maybe give that a shot. And that might be a much better game because it's more focused. It's more like locked in. Whereas this, you know, the pacing, depending on your play style, is really all over the place. It's really all over the place, and that's not really where... Because, you know, I was jonesing for another boss fight. I was like, okay, how do we get to the next boss fight? We just beat Godric. Let's just do it again. You know what I mean? I think we're adequate level. I think we have enough what we need. Then it took me 2 hours, and then I lost interest. Interest started to dissipate because the open world does not bring anything new to the table. It is literally what I said in my review from whenever I posted it a couple weeks ago, that you literally do nothing but dodge attack, obviously. And then in addition to that, in the open world, it's a collectathon. You know, it's literally no different than the Ubisoft titles. I'll tell you that. No different than the Ubisoft titles. And I think a linear focus or a much more, look, ain't no normies playing this fucking game, dude. Bro, it doesn't even tell you where to go. It's like, oh yeah, just go in this direction. Like, imagine just like I pointed this fucking pen and I told the player just to go in this direction. without any like context. Just go in this direction and you'll find out where you need to be. Really? Imagine like telling someone in the woods that just go in this direction and you'll find something, and it's like, well, maybe you won't. I mean, it's just there's no guarantee that you're smart enough to figure out what the fuck to do in the open world. Like, it doesn't hold your hand, and I kind of appreciate that it doesn't hold your hand, but at the same time, there's got to be a balance between not holding hand and holding hand. It's really that simple.
Josh Keck donated $5
baby.
through Super Chat. 10/10 when I kill boss. 0/10 when boss kill me.
That's what I'm saying. No. That's not what I'm saying. What are you talking about? Listen here, bro. Okay, Josh Peck coming through. Josh Peck? Why does that sound familiar? Josh Peck? Drake and Josh? No. Well, Josh Peck coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate it.
Spaceman donated $4.99.
Let's go, baby. 2-time Tony Hawk combo.
Chat. And all I hear is, but Dark Souls didn't tell you what to do. Dark Souls didn't do this or that. This isn't Dark Souls. Let go, Grease Masters.
Well, I've never played. I played Dark Souls 3, and that's it. And I didn't put too much time into it because it was it was just terrible. Okay, and that was years ago. You expect to remember my fucking experience with Dark Souls 3, and 2-time Tony on combo for Spaceman. Andy popped the cherry here today.
I'm a fucking devil donated $4.99 through Super Chat. That bear in Mistwood Ruins ran over me like a honk 18-wheeler, articulated
Yeah, but
lorry.
I already know where the bear's at. I already know where the goddamn temple is, and you go down into this like space fucking... I'm starting to get familiar with the open world, and I don't like that because now it's losing its appeal. I mean, it really is. I mean, look, obviously I don't know every nook and cranny, and I never will. But, once you get familiar with your surroundings, it does kind of lose its interest a little bit.
Donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Michael, do you have Tourette's? Men holding hands. Men holding hands.
I got everything you think I have.
Men holding hands. Men holding hands.
I got everything you think I have.
Men holding hands. Men
I mean, you guys want to play armchair doctor.
Brian
You guys want to play
Clark,
armchair
men
know-it-alls all
hands.
the time. I got everything that you think I have, okay? I have every disease in the book. Stay away from me. All right, so far coming to the list, Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry with the 2-time Tony Hawk combo. Following up, Josh Peck, I'm a Devil, and Perp AL. And who's next on the list here? You support the show, going to be immortalized
Native
right here.
Mind 0311 donated
Let's
$2
go, baby.
through Super Chat. God bless, bro.
Now, there's another YouTuber that's kind of let me get this down here. This pen is not working. Native Mind coming through. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate that with a $2 super chat. Native Mind joining the list. There's another YouTuber that just put out a review on Elden Ring, and his name is Synthetic Man. And I appreciate his channel. He's got about 55,000 subscribers, and he's telling it like it is. And most people probably don't know about him, but he popped up in my recommended all of a sudden, and I'm following, I'm subscribing. So that's one gaming channel I'd suggest because he just put up a great Elden Ring dissection, and most people are getting not happy with it.
Josh Sullivan donated £1.79 through Super Chat. Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, we're going to get to that soon, folks. You can call in 818-284-4568. Let's try and get some quality calls before the school Zoomers get out. I don't know if we're going to be live that long, but usually when the school releases and they just come home and they just call in and say stupid shit. So that's the reality of the situation. Josh Sullivan joining the list here today. We got a lot of people already on the list. We appreciate the support, your generosity, keeping the show afloat. Elden Ring is just a snooze fest, folks. I was literally going to fall asleep last night playing this game. And even Dr. Disrespect had that moment where it's like the open world just becomes a fucking snooze, especially once you get a little bit more familiar with it, you put more time into it, it's going to lose its appeal. And what I really fucking don't like, okay, and this is just stupidity. It's like they want you to explore, they want you to level up, grind, do this, that, and the third, but you have to collect a map to reveal the map. Like, what are we doing? You have to literally collect a map, and it shows you where the map is on the map. That's not totally detailed until you find the map, and then it shows the details on the map. Why is that the case? Why do I have to collect a map just to show the fucking map? Why can't I just roam around and then it reveals parts of the map just like it does in Red Dead Redemption 2 based off of your exploration? I think that would have been much more a better approach. But now you just go ahead and find a little map, and then you get to see what the map entails. And then, again, you start to put more time into the game, and you start to realize it's the collect-a-thon. It's kill every enemy that moves on the screen. Yeah, there's hidden stuff, but again, what is it going to result to? Another thing that you probably don't even know what you're picking up, another useless item that you're like, oh, what does this do? I don't know. Okay, I'll forget about within 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Or kill some enemies and rinse and repeat the freaking dungeons. I mean, the dungeons are basically copied. It's the same fucking layout. Oh, it's like, okay, we go down the stairs. There's a grace point. Oh, shit. Go down some more stairs, and it's like, oh, it's very similar to the previous dungeon that I just fucking explored. So I honestly think the open world is kind of a detriment to this experience here. You know, but on the flip side, it also is a welcome change, I guess. But, you know, it's just one of those things where I don't know. I don't know if this really helps this game because ultimately...
Adolf Hitler donated
$1.99
through Super Chat. Thoughts on colored people?
No, get out of here, dude.
Men holding hands.
Get out of here, dude.
Hands. Men holding 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 hands.
Guys, we're going to open up the lines soon, okay? We're going to open up the lines.
Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men
if I play Elden Ring again tonight, I will literally fall asleep. I don't know if we're going to play it again on stream. I mean, it is a snooze fest, bro.
Men holding hands.
It is a total snooze fest.
Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands.
Well, let's just call you Donator. All right. You know? I mean, I would literally fall asleep playing this game again. It really lost its appeal after I fought Godric and I won. That was really what I was clamoring for. I upgraded my shit, then it became kind of too easy as the magician, so now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, well, we can go to the castle and fight the fox, but do I really want to do this anymore? I've already done it twice in a row. I don't feel like I'm making progress within the game. I don't feel like, I mean, even if I level up, it doesn't mean that I'm actually stronger because it is a skill-based, you know, you have to time out your dance with the enemy and memorize their animation sequences. That's all you do in this game. You just, you memorize their animation sequences and then dodge accordingly. That's literally all you do. That is literally the formula. So I think a lot of people, when they first fight a boss, they're intimidated by the size or the figure of it. But you basically just look, you have to kind of look at this like a game developer and just say, okay, this is where the hitboxes are at. And this is, you got to think about these games in a really weird way. And you don't really play other games like that. But for these games, you just basically dance with the enemy. You memorize the animation sequences and then you dodge accordingly. Now, obviously, that's easier said than done. But once you figure things out, it just starts to become very stale and very repetitive. I mean, I want to see a boss in these games where they don't have the same animation sequences play out the exact same time every time. You know what I mean? Let's trigger something that's totally dynamic to throw the fucking player off. Maybe they have that. I don't know. But so far, it's basically just like, okay, this enemy's going to do this. He's going to go for 2 attacks, and then that's my moment to come in and execute on my, attack. And then go back on playing defense and dodge, attack, dodge. I mean, but you don't, like, there's no story. There's literally no story here. Like, there's literally no story. There's no story. It's just like, you know, it feels like a fucking tech demo. I'm sorry. It feels like something that was made in Unity, that some fucking grad student made. Like, I'm not even trolling, dude. Like, it literally feels like someone threw something together in just like a month and called it a day because there's no story. You know, oh, we got a little cutscene here. Okay, tell me the plot line of Bloodborne. You know, come on, go ahead. I mean, I'm sure some people know it because some people live and breathe these games, and that's great. I'm not saying you can't like this game, but, dude, this game went from a really good experience to I was bored out of my skull last night with this game, okay? So it goes down to a 4 out of 10, and right now that's the official verdict. Now, it could fluctuate back up, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm going to put more time into this game. Maybe I need a break, okay? It's getting frustrating again. The open world is boring. You know, because I already know what I'm going to see in the open world. The collect-a-thon, you literally roam around just to see more enemies, and you do the dodge attack dance all the time, 24/7 in this game. And you could argue that's every game. I don't think it is. You know, I mean, at least in Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, yeah, you could argue, you know, you just roam around and you don't kill everything that moves. That's what you don't do in Red Dead Redemption 2. And I got problems with Red Dead Redemption 2 as well, so I'm not this fucking RDR2 fanboy like some people in here. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you're going to do an open world, you're going to have to bring something new to the table, and I don't think that Elden Ring brings something new to the table. It does for the Dark Souls, it does for the From Software kind of ecosystem, but outside of that, this has been done before. And I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but obviously that comparison gets thrown up a lot. So maybe I'll have to get Breath of the Wild too, and maybe that will be Game of the Year. I don't know if that comes out, of course, this year. Let's go through the list, and we're going to open up the lines, folks. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry with a 2-time Tony Hawk combo, Josh Peck, I'm a Devil, Purple Al, Navaliak Ahmad. I don't know what the fuck I wrote there. Josh Sullivan and Donator coming through. So that's who we got so far on the list. Who's going to be next? And it is Butters coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that.
Through Super Chat. Mockle such a hack. One day it's the game of year, next it's trash.
Well, you know.
Which is it? Also stop saying there's no story there, definitely is, you missed it.
Well, give me the IQ test right now and you'd be surprised by the results. Probably the lowest IQ in the century. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit around and try. I don't care about the story. I literally don't care, okay? I just don't care. So even if there is a story, I don't give a fuck because that's not what these games are all about. But, I mean, if you're going to do open world, you're going to have to bring a little bit more. I wish they would have gave George R. R. Martin maybe a little bit more freedom because it doesn't seem like he did all that much. And in his blog post, he didn't word it in a way that was like, oh yeah, we worked tirelessly on this game together. It's like, no, I don't think that was the case.
Donated $1.99 through Super Chat. I love Michael.
Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate. No. Well, another donator coming through, anonymous. It's so incredibly sad how the From Software fanboys, they just get good and, they're know-it-alls. That's what I don't like about the community. Everyone's a know-it-all. I don't like know-it-alls in real life. There was this girl in class back in high school, and she was a know-it-all. She would correct the teacher. It's like, can we please just move on with the lesson, You got to interrupt the teacher and like, oh, I know everything. My daddy went to Yale. All this dumb bullshit. It's like, just shut the fuck up. No one gives a shit. I mean, you're hot, but like, come on, Alrighty, folks, 818-284-4568. That's the number to call in. Let's go ahead and see where people stand today. I think the honeymoon phase is starting to dissipate. This game's basically, well, not nearly, but almost a week old, okay? This game is almost a week old. Came out last Friday, I believe. I can't remember. But almost a week old. And I think the honeymoon phase is starting to dissipate. And once the dust does settle, I think opinions are going to be a lot more varied. And I think a lot of people are going to come out of the woodwork and say, you know what, yeah, pretty good experience, but is it a 10 out of 10? Is it the game of the generation? Is it the game of the century? I don't know if a lot of people are going to be in agreement with that. So let's go ahead and open up the lines, folks. 818-284-4568. Who's next up on the list here?
Clad in Shadows 99 donated $2 through Super Chat. Keep exposing the reality of the situation.
Guys, I can't chill. I can't chill. I mean, I wasn't trying to chill yesterday. I was in the honeymoon phase for some reason yesterday. I was enjoying my time, but I beat Godric last night, and then the game started to kind of crumble after that because I was amped up. I was like, let's go. We got to keep that flow moving. And then all of a sudden it comes into this like, where do we go situation? Where do we go? Where am I supposed to go? And if you're not streaming this game and the chat isn't helping you, well, good luck finding out where to go. I mean, eventually you'll find out where to go, but since the map is so fucking big, it's going to take a long, long time, and that grind, that process of trying to figure out where to go and where to be is not all that fantastic. So, like I said, I might apply what I learned here in Elden Ring and take it back to Bloodborne, and maybe I'll appreciate Bloodborne a lot more. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe these games are just not floating the boat, and that's okay if they don't. But at the end of the day, obviously Elden Ring, from what I played, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, played more Dark Souls 3 than Bloodborne, but I would say FromSoft, this is the most interesting, I would say, From Software title easily. I think the open world is an interesting approach. I don't know if it's effective to the 100% degree, but because now it's starting to turn into a snooze fest. And when these games turn into a snooze fest, I turn them off. The
33 donated $2 Canadian through Super Chat. I did see you having fun with the game, Mackle.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's moments to dude. Yeah. That's every game, though. Every game has ups and downs in terms of, like, the pacing's all over here. That's the problem with the game. The pacing's all over. If this were a core linear experience that we're more honed in on, focused in on, like the previous games, then I think I could enjoy it a tad bit more because it's like, okay, we already know the game's going to be hard. It's like, I don't want to, like, the pacing issues that, exist are just not fantastic because, again, I beat Godric, and I was like, okay, where do we go next? I had to look at my chat, and they had to tell me exactly where to go, and I still didn't fucking know where to go. So it's like, what do we do?
ZZ1 donated £5 through Super Chat. It's a shame how reviewers have purposely overlooked all the BS plaguing this game. From Software fanboys are disgraceful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The community is really one of the downsides to these type of games. They're gatekeepers. They don't really help out all that much. They just tell you to get good and go fuck yourself. And I mean that's the internet. I get it, but at the end of the day, it's like they needed to be more accommodating towards new fucking players. A lot of people bought Elden Ring. They probably already refunded it. Most of the casuals that bought it because they had nothing else out there to play. If you don't have a PlayStation console, obviously you couldn't play Horizon Forbidden West. So it's just one of those things.
Midnight Shepherd donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Check Twitter messages. Sent a useful exploit.
Yeah, well, I already know an exploit on the runs. I mean, I don't know. It's just like you got to continue to grind for everything. So even if you know an exploit for one thing, you got to figure out like, okay, I need smithing stones. So now we got to go to different. Now we got to start exploring and grinding and just like it's like Grand Theft Auto Online. You got to grind. You want to buy a property in Grand Theft Auto Online. You have to grind, or you can give Rockstar your hard-earned money to skip that grind. So that is what this game is presenting. It's presenting the grind within the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, within the From Software ecosystem. That is literally what. Now, obviously, there's no microtransactions, but a grind within the game. You do have to put in the mundane work in order to potentially upgrade your stats and do that sort of thing. I mean, you can play the game how you want. Obviously, the game doesn't really correct players if you're playing it wrong. But at the end of the day, if you're just going to dick around in the open world and do nothing, I mean, that isn't going to last for too long. That really isn't going to last for too long, because that appeal of like, okay, let's take this guy out. Oh, we did that. Oh, we failed over here. It's just starting to become clinical. I don't know if that makes any sense, but let's go ahead and open up the lines right here, folks. 818-284-4568. Get your ass on the line. Let's make it happen. Let's make it pop in a way that makes sense. Spaceman popping the cherry here today with the two-time Tony Hawk combo, the highest combo of the show so far. Spaceman with the two-time Tony Hawk combo. Again, you support the show, we'll immortalize you right here on the list. Brought back the list for you guys here today. And we're going to take some calls here. Hopefully they're quality callers. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing? Are you still talking about some Elden Ring?
Oh, Lord. Great caller. We got a great caller on our hands here. Yeah, we are.
I'm not saying that. Okay. I was calling back in. I want to talk to you about this a little bit more. I've been thinking about this for a bit. So okay. First things first.
Midnight Shepherd donated $4.99 through Super Chat.
I know.
I agree.
From personal
The
experience,
game was advertised for the masses, and that is not accurate. It is very difficult and is clearly meant for the Dark Souls community.
The idea that either your exploration is not rewarded, but instead your forgetfulness is rewarded, punished rather, because you don't notice like a little fucking thing on the side of the road that actually has the map you need, and then in tying up mechanics and bosses and keys and shit to it. I mean, honestly, I kind of get where you're coming from.
Nicholas J. Fuentes donated 79 pence through Super Chat.
Oh, couldn't hear the. Yeah.
Are you still rating this thing? What's the current score going on this thing?
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10?
Yeah.
That seems a little harsh. I mean, it's not it's not perfect. I mean, no, I've been playing the PC port, and the game doesn't even run half the time.
Yeah.
It seems like a little harsh for a 4 out of 10.
Well, it's just one of those things.
All right. I guess you're justified in your own fucking opinion or whatever. This ain't exactly the game form of magazines, but like, I don't know. I think it's just like, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like there was a bug recently. I don't know if you saw this. There was a bug with Elden Ring recently. Apparently, they had to patch this in the PC port that the graphics cards weren't being actually utilized by copies of the game, so people would run it. I'm thinking that's what happened to my issue. My copies of this game is it just not fucking using my graphics card. I'm running my motherboard on board support instead. That's kind of sloppy.
Yeah, that certainly is inexcusable. But hey, it's 2022.
Yeah.
So that ain't nothing new.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're fucking right. You can quote me on this. Personally, I think it's very bold of From Software to make the next Banjo-Kazooie sequel. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Know what I'm saying? It's like a
Thanks for calling in.
You're running.
Thanks for calling in. Alrighty, we got Nicholas calling. Nicholas, Midnight Shepherd with the two-time Tony Hawk combo. Hello, you're on the air.
Slava Ukraine.
Oh, Lord.
Slava Ukraine. What do you think? You think there's gonna be World War III? You think we're gonna die?
I don't watch the news.
What do you mean you don't watch the news? You need to watch the news.
No, I don't. Why would I do that?
Well,
Why would I be a slave to the news, like every American?
you need to know what's going on in the world, man.
Why? How does that affect
I mean,
me?
why?
How does that affect
Because we're
me?
at war. Because the West and Russia are at war.
But how does that affect me, personally?
It will affect you when in
How?
5 years you'll be speaking Russian.
Okay. Why do I?
Yeah.
Why
So
would
you
I-
can-
why is it important? Okay, don't talk. Let's not have a dialogue about it. Like, okay, it's just hello, you're on the air. Elden Ring, let's go.
Michael, I think
Did you
need to
watch
take a
last
day
night?
off.
Did you watch it last night?
I didn't watch last night because I didn't beat Godric yet. I don't want to see anything past.
Well, there
past
wasn't
that.
anything to see. That was the fucking problem, bro. You know?
So what? Is there a stop? Is there nowhere to go after that?
No,
or
there's a place to go, but like, you know, you got to spend time roaming around on the horse, getting bored.
I 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
I took a break. Last night I went into Siofra, which is one of the underground places, and I beat the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was
yeah.
So what I've been doing, I think this will help you, is like take a few days off or whatever. I played some other games, but I started a notebook or a journal based on some of the stuff, like the waypoints that I have and haven't completed. And I think that helps a lot with whether or not like managing the map. It's a different type of game.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I don't know
If you
about
don't
that.
have
I don't
that
know.
kind of
I mean, if I played Breath of the Wild, I'm pretty sure. Have you played Breath of the Wild?
I've played Breath of the Wild. and I
how
think
do you when you open up the map, does it show you where everything's at? I mean, how is the map system in Breath of the Wild?
the map system in Breath of the Wild, it's very similar where you do have like these waypoints that you can place for things that you haven't gone to yet.
But is it showing you? You know, in this game, it doesn't show you detail until you actually pick up the map to show the map. You know, so like how does it work in Breath of the Wild?
So Breath of the Wild, I think you do the you get the shrines, you know, those giant things that you have to climb up, and that kind of reveals part of the map. So it's
you
easy to
gotta
see.
climb towers.
Yes, it's the.
It's
not
no.
It's not as bad as.
Oh
the, or
no! You gotta climb towers in an open world game.
they're
Holy
dungeons.
shit!
They're
That's a 0 out of 10. I thought Elden Ring was terrible. Holy shit! That's how
They're
you. Oh wait, you're
dungeons.
telling me that's how you reveal parts of the map in Breath of the Wild. You gotta climb towers.
You do a dungeon. It's the tower comes up after the.
Yeah, I don't care. It's still a tower. I mean, come on, bro. That's the Ubisoft fucking. That's literally the Ubisoft trope right there.
Yeah, but they're copy and paste dungeons, so they're a little, they have like fun mechanics and stuff, but it's not.
Well, I wonder what Horizon Forbidden West does, because I remember in the first game you had to climb the tall necks to reveal the map because it was cloudy, and then once you climbed the tall necks, it would reveal that section of the map, which is terrible. But I mean, in Red Dead Redemption 2, it shows you the map as you explore it. So you explore it, and then it starts to fill in the detail once you open up the actual map. And that's what I think this game should have done, but maybe they wanted to do that. I mean, they just show you straight up where the maps are at. I didn't know that until someone told me in the chat. I didn't know what the fuck that marker meant.
Red Dead 2 I didn't know until I ran across two of them. I was like, why is my map completely empty with detail? But with Red Dead 2, they give you the option to turn the mini map off, and that changes lines of dialogue with the characters telling you where to go and
I forgot
stuff.
about that. That's fucking.
Yeah, so that at least with Red Dead 2, there's the option to, okay, maybe if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to put that commitment in, you don't have to. This game, you don't have the choice, but I think it's extremely rewarding if you decide to give it that time commitment.
Dude, I literally had my pillow out. I was gonna fall asleep. I was literally laying down playing this game, like I was out.
Well, I mean, I haven't gotten to the point you are yet, but if you haven't done like Siofra, there's a I don't want to say mine shaft because it's not that boring. There are little parts around the map and there is story. There are side quest type stories. There's no journal where you keep track of them.
I mean, I met someone who said something about a location, and I was like, okay, where's this at? And, there was no indicator on my map. There was just like, you have to literally find this for yourself. There was no help at all. In this big-ass world, they want me to find one fucking thing, and it didn't sound like it was a big, a big thing. So, That's like finding a needle in a haystack. I mean, the game's laughing at you. It's like, really? What kind of fucking game design is this? I mean, it's just like this game is back in the 1985. You know?
Well, that's the thing, is that there's no other game like it, and that's why I think I'm starting to appreciate the thing that it's not hand-holding.
I want to bring Elden Ring up in like 2 weeks from now when everyone's off the honeymoon phase and when this game is out of the conversation, because I am interested to see if this still retains its value, because eventually you're going to figure out the layout of the map. Eventually you're going to get desensitized to it a tad bit more. And once that happens, I mean, I don't know if that's going to affect people's opinions, but it seems like a lot of people are in the honeymoon phase. It's not even a week old, and they're just kind of like, I mean, if you have a normal life and a, regular job, obviously, you probably can't put too much. You can't, put too much time into Elden Ring. I can't keep up with
these people who are like, they beat all of these bosses and stuff, and they're like way up the map already. Yeah. Like, I'm just taking it at my own pace. I mean, I have a ton of friends who are like, oh, I got here, and it's like, dude, chill the fuck out. I mean, like, do you work? I mean, like, come on. But besides that, it's maybe it will hit a wall, right? Where like I'll play it for a bit. I'm like, okay, this formula's getting a little stale because like the map is so fucking big, which was a good thing when like I'm excited about it, but it's also like,
it gets a little tiring. I mean, sure, you can get grace points and get fast travel, but then there's no point of the open world if we're just going to sit around and fast travel all day. It's like some people probably just get the map. Some people probably just get the map, they explore, they get the graces, and then they just use the fast travel system to get to the closest point to where they need to go.
For places that you've already done, like I'm saying, where I have this journal up, of like, okay, I have this certain place. There's a boss I can't enter yet. There's a giant pot guy behind a locked door with this thing. There's a sorceress here. And like, if I want to zip back to that and see how that, because like I said with this quest I did last night, this girl's outside the castle. She's like, my dad's in the castle. Give him this thing. Okay, I'm not going to spoil what goes on, but you go back and forth between the two, and there's development. So it's like, it's not like a journal side quest where they're like, here's the quest marker, go here and do this. It's like, it's more of just like they drop you into the world, and I think I appreciate. It's like that. The same goes back to that same thing. As long as it's polarizing and it's interesting and it's doing something different, and it's not like.
Well, I mean, you could sort of have that same experience in Red Dead 2 now that I think about it, now that you brought that thing up about how they had changed conversations based off of the HUD. So if you turn off the HUD totally, you're going to have to rely on Arthur's journal, I believe, in terms of like trying to figure out where things are at or...
Yes, and like I said, like they'll actually, you could put it to a semi mode like that where you just have the compass, and you could have the compass point out where you need to go. Well, yeah, if you want a more immersive experience. Yeah, and so they give you the option for that. There's no option here, so I could see that like being an issue for people who don't 24/7 play this game. But on the other hand, I at least can appreciate the fact that they're willing to stand their ground, and that's like.
Yeah, I'm glad they stuck with their vision and they did what they wanted to do. I think that's what they just need to do continuing forward. But eventually this formula is going to have to. I mean, it's going to have to evolve a tad bit because I think some people are getting a little.
Still the boss rush thing, like the roll and dodge, and I mean, it is what it is. I think the builds in this are played differently than like a Skyrim would be. It's a little bit different as far as like your tactics to approaching enemies.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got to say. Move the wheels.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, you can call in, folks. We're going to go ahead and go through the list as we wait for some more callers here. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry with the two-time Tony Hawk combo. Josh Peck is watching the show. Holy shit, didn't know he was still around. I'm a Devil, Pump Owl. Couldn't get through it. I'm not seeing the caller. There we go. Let's get him on the line, folks. Let's go. High energy in here. Let's go. Hello, you're on the air. Let's get him on the line. Get him in here. Share the link. Go on 4Channel. Do what you got to do. Okay? Get him in here. Hello, you're on the air.
All right. Hey, it's me calling back. When I told you the other day how I felt like you were flip-flopping from one point to the other.
Yep.
I'm glad you put your thinking hat back on, buddy. I'm glad you put it back on because that was a ridiculous episode, but it was hilarious at the same time, and I love it all. You did a great job.
Hell yeah. Hello, you're on the air. Let's go. Hello, you're on the air. Nope.
What's your favorite thing about Elden Ring?
How I'm not playing it. That's why society's in the dump. Can't communicate. Hello, you're on the air.
What's up, Michael? So, what do you think about the game Neon?
Never heard of it.
Neon this neck, nigga.
Cringe, absolute cringe. Hello, you're on the air.
Michael. Looks like you had the same realization I had only maybe, 2 hours into the game?
Really?
Like I told you. Yeah, like I told you yesterday. You know, I was in Limgrave. I fought that big-ass demon with the sword, and then I thought to myself, this was hard enough. Do I really want to fight the bosses that are like a million times harder, try to level up myself when I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, walk around this empty-ass map with nothing exciting really to see except for people that just want to kick my ass? I mean, it's just, like, you can already tell, we do the same shit over and over and over again.
Yep, and, I beat Godric last night, and I was like, okay, let's go to the next boss. Then I got lost in the open world for like 2 hours, trying to figure out where to go, finally figured it out, and it was the same thing that I just did.
There's nothing really, exciting to see. It's just people that want to kill you.
Legitimately, there's not. You kind of collect things in the world. I mean, yeah, there's some, like, side characters here and there, but they say some vague shit, and then you're like, okay, where do I go? How do I continue to progress in this little side quest? We don't know. Okay, let's forget about it. Let's move on. Fight some more enemies. Like, there's stuff to see, but it's not like it's going to totally change the formula up, the core gameplay loop up. So I don't know. I mean, I guess you could argue that every game kind of goes down that direction, but at least like in Red Dead Redemption 2, you don't have to kill everything that moves. In this game, it's not like you can talk to the monsters. I mean,
yeah.
You're going to have to bring some variety to the table. It's just going to have to happen one of these days. But I mean, I think a lot of people, it's hard to, talk about this right now with a lot of fans because I think a lot of people, it's brand new and shiny still. The honeymoon phase is still active. So in like 2 weeks from now, I think the landscape for the Elden Ring conversation might be much different, and as people let this marinate in their mind a little bit, they might come away and say that maybe it wasn't all that it's cracked up to be, or they might say yes, it was a 10 out of 10. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But right now, I mean, I have I got bored last night, and not in a good way, where it was like, oh, I'll continue later. It's just like I don't know. I think I've seen enough to know that it's like Far Cry 6. I played 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, of Far Cry 6, and I said, okay, this is the game. Like, we've seen the whole game right here. Like, I don't need to continue to play more to know that we have to clear outposts. Like, that's the whole fucking game. Like, it's just roam around, big empty open world, and shoot fucking everything that moves. That's, it's like, when are we going to evolve?
Yeah, man, it's like, it's like I said, I was playing for I was playing for almost 2 hours, but I'm trying to still get the refund from Steam, right? I can't go over 2 hours. And in that time frame, I literally all it was doing was, like, finding new shit, getting my ass whooped, and then when I finally could, like, actually start defeating enemies, I realized all I'm going to do is progress in this game, get a little bit stronger, get my ass whooped, and then try to fucking figure shit out that makes no sense. What the fuck, like, I'm picking up golden runes, and then I saw in a video that they use for upgrading, like, how the fuck how am I supposed to know this shit? Nothing is explained. Well, and it's just the same shit over, and there's nothing fucking interesting to see.
And what they could have done with the physical copy is they could have included a handy manual to explain some of this shit. Like, of all the games that need a fucking manual, this game would have been it. And don't say they don't, if people say that they don't include manuals anymore, that's not true. Red Dead Redemption 2 had a manual. I'm pretty positive. So, and Cyberpunk had some shit with it as well. But no one buys physical copies anymore, so I don't know.
That's the problem with this game, honestly. It's just the fucking boss design. Because the whole game is the bosses, but each boss is the fucking same. All you do is roll and attack. There's no quirk. There's not even really gimmicks to the bosses. It's just like you just exactly. There's nothing.
Yeah,
it's the same.
It's pretty bad.
You're doing the same. That's what I'm saying. You're doing the same thing over and over. Like in not Dark Souls, in Demon Souls, there were gimmicks to the bosses. Like there's a little quirk or feature. Yes, they were, and that same thing with the first Dark Souls game. And then Bloodborne came in,
and then it made this whole thing about like all the bosses just do fucking like weird like spinning moves and shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. All of the bosses became the same after Bloodborne. It just like there's no fucking gimmicks. It's just dodge attack, dodge attack.
Yeah, and that gets stale. It's like, well, yeah, this boss is taller than the last boss and looks more intimidating. That's cool. But once you look at the animation sequences, you just start to realize that, okay, we just, we don't. It's not like we're targeting a specific spot on the boss, or there's like no fucking hook to these bosses. It's just all the same execution method. Learn how they dance and then time it right, and boom, that's it. That's the whole fucking game.
It's the same thing with Sekiro. That's the same thing with fucking Dark Souls 3. It's just it's all the same.
What about Dark Souls 2? Do they have kind of like a little bit more to the boss fights, like number 1?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I remember 2 was a bit like almost like a derivative of 1.
Right.
But I didn't really play 2. I played 3, and it was just pretty boring.
Oh.
I played Sekiro, which is just learning the animations like this game, and then. It's so stupid. Like, there's people in the comments right now, too. They're like, the game has a 6 out of 10, but it has millions of players or hundreds of thousands of players. Go back to Cyberpunk. Like, I've seen some people commenting that shit. And it's like, popularity doesn't tell the story or the quality of the game, because Cyberpunk has a fucking, like, almost 80% positive review, but that's a shit game. Yeah. And this game is literally all the bosses are the same. You do the same thing throughout the game. The only thing you can do is kill stuff, discover stuff, and get your ass whooped. There's nothing else.
Michael Campbell donated $5 through Super Chat. You have to stop asking where to go.
And they're shilling
the
for
game
the game
gets
like
much easier after exploring.
If you dare talk bad about
Read the menus and learn.
The game, you don't
the game
understand
respects the player's intelligence.
But what do we know? We're just fucking consumers.
Yeah, and we, it's just the gatekeeping sort of community. Like, oh, you don't know it. You're supposed to know everything. The game respects. It's like, how does it respect my time? The game was not hold. Like, it's like, bro, if I'm gonna roam around on my horse for 2 hours straight, it's like, basically what you do is find a grace point. It shows you sort of in the direction where you're supposed to go. Find the next grace point. It'll show you, continue to move you in that direction. But it's like everything's a quest. Everything's a fetch quest. It's like we have to, we got to farm more runes. We got to find the fucking map. Everything's just like a process in this game. Literally everything is even like equipping your horse is just a process when it shouldn't be. Unless there's a way to streamline that, then again, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why the gatekeeping is so fucking prominent still. This opened up the floodgates more so than ever before, the most popular From Software title easily, and yet this community doesn't want people to play it. They don't want new players to come in like, oh, we want to keep this like this niche community. It's like, dude, quit gatekeeping. Holy shit. Michael coming through with I forgot what you came through with, but we appreciate that. I believe 5. Michael Cabell coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. So
all of these, I'm telling you, all of these fucking morons in the chat right now saying, "Oh,
no, I'm not looking at the chat. That's why the show is actually a little bit decent today. I'm not looking at the chat. I ain't looking at that shit."
The chat, let me just tell you, they're all fucking ignorant. Especially the people that are like, "Oh, caller just cried because the game's too hard." Dude, I'm trying to tell you guys.
The game's boring. That's why I'm crying. The game. I mean, look, I beat Godric. I beat Godric. It's a snooze fest. I was literally on my pillow last night. If you guys didn't tune in, that's tough luck. I was on my pillow last night, literally going to fall asleep with this fucking game because I already know what's next to come. You just collect more shit, try and farm, upgrade, and then you fight the fox boss in the in the castle. It's like, okay.
They're like, oh, the game has like plus 80 bosses, okay, but they're all the same. Because all you do is dodge and attack. There's no gimmick, there's no
hook. There's no hook to the bosses. It's just like go up, you learn the animation sequence. When that plays out, execute on that timing, and then that's the dance. That's literally the whole game. That's all you have to do. Now, obviously, it's easier said than done, especially for new players, but that's it. I mean, that's all the game has to offer.
I know, it's just insane.
It's sad how a lot of the reviewers ignored the technical issues. They just glossed over them because they probably didn't want to get... I don't think people can share their real opinions on this game, to be totally frank. I think people get a little crazy. Now, for me, they think I'm a troll or they think whatever about this show, and that's whatever. They can perceive it how they want. But, they cut me some slack, I think, because of that. So because they have this preconceived notion that this is just a joke channel, it's a parody, it's satire, it's whatever people want it to be. But at the end of the day, I'm just shooting the shit out here, and we're telling it like it is, and people can't handle that. So they just want everyone to just conform to the general consensus, what the front page of Reddit dictates, and that's it. So and most people follow that road, and I don't do that over here. So too bad,
Michael. Is your wallet open? Is your checkbook open? Because you better spend all your money on these brand new games. You better shill them, okay? You better not criticize anything.
Yep.
Because if you do, we're all going to make fun of you.
I mean, if I didn't criticize anything, we'd be at 100K by now in terms of subscribers. So I'm not even kidding. I'm dead ass. But I will be shilling the next game that's coming out in a few weeks from now. So, and it's going to get people mad. I don't care. And I'm not shilling it for the sake. I'm not, shilling it to piss people off. But I think there's genuine improvements, and they need to be showcased. So there's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be worse than the From Software people that come over here because the community, because this community they hate for whatever reason. So we'll see.
I mean, yeah, man, you're absolutely right. Because, YouTubers like Young, they literally say, oh, on the front page of Reddit.
Oh, yeah. That's literally where everyone goes. Literally all of them. They all go to the same place. Yep. They look at the general consensus, what's acceptable, and then they regurgitate their what they saw on the front page of Reddit and, filter it through their own little brand, and then that's it. That's all that's done on this platform. That's why I recommended the Synthetic Men, the Synthetic Man here on YouTube. I just found his channel, and he just put up an Elden Ring video. It's pretty thorough, but he's getting a lot of flack for it. He had to he's getting a lot of flack for it, but that's just the way it is.
What's his name? He's a YouTuber?
Synthetic Man. Type it in, Synthetic Man. He just reviewed Elden Ring. He's got similar thoughts.
Synthetic Man.
He's got similar thoughts to I'm glad I'm not alone with this shit, because sometimes it feels like we're the only one.
I'll give it a look.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Well, listen, we appreciate you calling in.
Man. Let's keep the wheels moving.
Hell yeah, take care.
Absolutely.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hello, you're on the air.
This is Michael.
Who do you want it to be?
Michael, how are you doing?
Slim Shady. Yeah, we out here.
Hey, how's it going, Michael? How are you doing?
We're out here. We're out here.
We're out here?
Yeah.
What are we here to talk about today?
Well, what's with these callers that call in and ask that question? Usually it's not a good sign. Did someone give you the phone number?
Yeah, I thought we were here to talk about the Elden Ring, the Elden cringe that's been going on here recently.
Yeah, but why would you call into my show and ask me what I'm talking about when you kind of already knew?
Well, I mean, you're the host here. We can talk about whatever you want, or we can talk about whatever I want.
That's not true. Well, nonetheless, we're covering Elden Ring, and we're dissecting it. Everyone's sharing their thoughts. So, you got a comment or question about Elden Ring?
Exactly. So, as I heard you talking about earlier today, we were talking about the bosses, the cheap design, the lame design of the bosses. I ended up playing a bit more of the game, maybe than you did, and I have to say, when it comes to the bosses, the 83 more bosses this game has, would you believe that there's actually reskins of older bosses from the game, from older games, like Dark Souls 1 and 2 and 3?
I'm pretty sure that I would believe it because, this is kind of an asset flip in disguise in certain ways.
I mean, I just think it's unbelievable. When you create all these bosses, you can't even think of something original. What's the point of making all these bosses in the game if you can't even make something original about it? You just got to reskin bosses. You got to reuse the same boss over and over again. I can't tell you how many Erd Tree bosses there are in this game. It's the same boss multiple times over and over again.
Well, that's the From Software way. Why change it if it works?
Yeah, and I just can't believe what they're doing with this game. First off, the first game was never good to begin with, okay? And then all the Dark Souls fans, they'll be like, oh, well, the real
Let
game
me guess this. What about Dark Souls 2?
Dark Souls 2 is bad. It was even worse than the first game. I couldn't believe that one either.
I thought you were going to say it was good.
I didn't even finish. I don't think I made it past the second boss, so bad.
Well, I might have to play Dark Souls 2. It must be the best one. Y'all hate it. Must be the best one.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think the same flaws that you find in Elden Ring, you'll find in Dark Souls 2 as well. In
Well,
fact,
I mean,
maybe
they're all
worse.
the same
Even
games, so
worse.
yeah. I mean, they're all the same games. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like finding flaws in Madden 22. I go back to Madden 12 that came out in 2011 or 12 or whenever. I mean,
In fact, it's very common in the industry as a whole. We just have these games like FIFA and Madden. It's just the same game every year.
All right. Thanks for telling us what we already knew. We don't have much battery life left, folks. Let's go ahead and make it happen. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Who is this?
This is Cedric. Hey, Mike, I'm so glad you answered. So let's get to the facts. I was watching you live. You playing a game.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like you only reason you're complaining about the game is because you got to a certain boss that you couldn't beat, and you kept trying, and it was killing you inside. So you said, you know what? I'm making a video tomorrow, and I'm gonna trash talk the game. I watched your live, and you kept deleting your lives off of YouTube so nobody could watch them. Because you couldn't get past.
Well, you had to be there.
Am I right
you had to be there when it happened. Otherwise, it's gone. That's how it is in real life. You go to a concert when it happens. Otherwise, it doesn't happen the next day. There ain't no replay of a concert.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But the reason you're giving this game a bad expectation review is because you couldn't get past a certain boss.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but not all of it.
Did you finish the game?
Ain't no. You think I can finish this game? Come on, bro.
Exactly. So why talk about it until you finish
Okay,
it?
here we go. Okay, come on.
Yet.
Let me ask you this. Do you really think the reviewers had time to finish this fucking game? Come on, man. In fact,
But that's the thing.
GameSpot, when GameSpot threw out their 10 score, it was a review in progress, meaning they didn't finish the game. So.
Okay, I got a quick question for you. This is off the topic a little bit. Are you going to review WWE 2K22?
Well, we'll see. I mean, something like that. We'll take a look at it probably.
Okay. All right, I'm out of here.
Hell yeah, bro. He's out of here. I scared him off. Typical. Alrighty, Spaceman, Pop of the Cherry. Let's go through this list here. Again, you support the show, immortalized right here on the list. We don't have too much time here today. Battery's already more than halfway down. We don't have the extender, so it's going to be a little shorter show today, but it is what it is because the callers have already dried up. Damn it. Can't even see the screen. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
Yep.
So I see that you're a little down in the game now.
Well, it wasn't good. Well, if you did, let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you this. Did you watch last night? Because I was literally on the pillow falling asleep. The game was a fucking snooze fest.
Yeah, I saw you were falling asleep. Chat was being weird. I saw.
Well, they're always being weird.
But I mean, I think that you just got kind of burnt out of it. Is that what you think it is? Or
Probably.
Do you think
I don't know. I don't see a reason to go back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of fun, jumping over the hurdle in the face of adversity, meaning defeating the bosses. But what are we gaining? What are we really doing? I mean, like, there's got to be a sense of progression outside of stats. There's got to be a sense of progression outside of stats, and there's really not.
Dude, the level system is fake, dude.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, like I said, I mean, dude, I think you're going to see a speed run within the next couple of weeks if it's not already out, where someone just goes in with like their base level when they start the game and defeat all the bosses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but
if you figure it out, if you play this game like a Guitar Hero game and you get that rhythm down, believe me, that's all you need. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, but so do you think the excitement's gone because you explored the world already and shit?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because look, obviously I don't know, there's a ton of secrets and shit like that, but like, I mean, what's it really going to amount to? Just going in a dungeon, opening up a chest, getting an item that's like, okay, well, we got something cool. How do we apply it? How do we use it? What's it good for? Like the game, ship me the fucking encyclopedia with this fucking thing. I mean, I swear, bro. You don't make a piece of software that's unintuitive. Like what planet are these devs living on where they're like, let's just make a software for the masses, mind you. and just ship it out with George R. R. Martin's name on it, and then have this unintuitive fucking mess. It's like they oughta knew that since they're going to slap George R. R. Martin on it, you got Jeff Keighley shilling this shit for literally fucking years. You ought to know that it's going to be the most fucking popular From Software game, and it is. And yet it's it's unintuitive software. It's like you don't design unintuitive software. Software is king. Like an operating system, it has to be intuitive for the fucking user. And this shit's like fucking, you're doing things to, you got to go dig through sub menus just to fucking like equip horses and shit. Like all this, it doesn't tell you what to do. It's like, how do you expect an American gamer to fucking play this? Let's get the normies in front of Elden Ring and just.
Dude, are you trolling a little bit, dude?
How am I trolling, dude? What do you want to know? Let's go. I don't have time out here.
You're talking about Americans and stuff. Like, what does that have to do with Elden Ring, dude?
Well, most people are dumb. Most people are dumb. Most people are dumb. They watch the news all day. They're a slave to the news. They go out and fucking consume. There's people driving around for no reason. I don't meet smart people in real life. I've never met a smart person in real life. Everyone's dumb. Who's smart?
A lot of people. What do you mean?
I don't think I've ever met a smart person in life. I don't think I've ever met a smart person. I mean, everyone is stupid, in certain ways. Just because someone is like an expert at like fucking, heart, they're like,
well, there's different types of intelligence.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't even know what the word intelligence means. Well, there's book smartness.
Michael,
look. Why aren't you in school? It sounds like you should be in school. How old are you?
I graduated. I'm 19. I graduated high school.
Really? Well, it's over. Yeah, it's over. I mean, it's over. You graduate. It's over. That's the end of it right there. When you get my age, you're going to come back and say, "Holy shit!"
Is that the end of it?
It's getting close to it. Well, if you go to college, you still have 4 more years of doing nothing. But I mean, after that, things start to get a little stupid.
Dude, that sounds depressing, dude. I might just
that's the way it is. I mean, that's the way it is. They don't tell you that, but I mean, I'm not saying that's what it's like for everyone. But obviously, if you got a lot of friends now, while you're in college or whatever, eventually you're gonna have like many people don't have many friends, believe it or not. They pretend like they do on social media, but that's all a put on.
Nah, dude, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
Yeah. Well, okay. But, listen, we're gonna one more question. We're gonna move to the next caller.
All right.
Let's go.
If Breath of the Wild comes out and it's a 10 out of 10, will you get a Switch? If the new Breath of the Wild
I'll tell you what. Breath of the Wild 2. If you don't climb towers to reveal parts of the map, I'll consider. But if you think I'm going to play that game, if you think I'm going to play that game and I'm going to sit around and climb towers to reveal parts of the map, they can kiss my foot and shove that shit up where the sun doesn't shine. I don't care if it's Zelda. I don't care if it's fucking Bruce Wayne himself coming over here with Catwoman. Okay? At the end of the day, it is what it is.
All right.
Well, alrighty. Thanks for calling in. We're going to move the wheels. I'm going to fall asleep out here with this show now. I'm falling asleep all the time. Might as well be asleep forever. 818-284-4568. In the meantime, as the callers have dried up, we'll go through this list. Hopefully we can finish it this time around. Spaceman, Pop of the Cherry with the 2-time Tony Hawk combo. Josh Peck, I'm a Devil. Pump Owl. No Man. Josh Sullivan, Donator. Butters, Donator. Shadows 99. Defects 30. Nope, we got to reread the whole fucking list. Couldn't finish it in time. Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, God.
Gringe. Subway's hiring. Subway is hiring. Be a sandwich artist. Let's go. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello. All I wanted to say is Howard Stern sucks my sweaty balls.
What
Elden Ring.
Fuck? Howard Stern? Howard Stern? Why are you bringing up Howard Stern? What? Hello, you're on the air.
Yep. Hello, Michael. I have a question.
Yep.
Yo.
Yep.
You love this game. You love this game.
Well, right now it's a 4 out of 10.
You know which one? You know which one?
What?
You lost this game almost rigged. You lost this game.
What do you mean, bro?
Death
Yeah,
cited
it's over, but you love this game.
$666
I see
donated
you like
$2 through
like
Super
you
Chat.
play like at night. You play online.
No, I know
like,
when you're playing
don't
this
know.
shit all night, bro. What you talking about, bro?
But yo, listen. I don't know if you love this game. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
You love this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll think about it. I can barely hear him. Hello, you're on the air. Decided coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate it. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, you're
Can
on
you
the
hear
air.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Well, hello, you're on the air. That means you go because you're on the air. You're in front of a few hundred people. So
Okay. Well, I'm about 70 hours into Elden Ring.
Yeah.
70 hours.
Yeah.
And I still haven't beaten the game.
Okay.
So that should tell you something about how massive. And,
dude, I played Skyrim for like fucking a long time before I even started the actual quest. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been doing the actual quest, and there's other like bosses, like the main ones within the game, that they actually do have like different ways of killing the boss, and there's some where you need to like be mounted on your horse in order to kill that boss.
Yeah,
So
but how are you going to how are you going to know how are you supposed to know that you're supposed to be on the horse to kill the boss? Does the game tell you?
Because when the boss is like 50 miles away from you, and when you're allowed to summon your horse, then I think.
Well,
you
I mean,
should,
hey,
get
when
on
I'm
your
allowed to
horse and
summon
fight
my
it.
horse, the horse is getting out. I mean, regardless of whether or not the game, whether or not you're supposed to do that, if it allows me to do it, I'm getting that fucking horse out so we can beat that bullshit real quick. You just run around the fucking enemy and stab. I mean, that's all you do.
Yeah, I know, but my point is that there is variety within.
I guess.
Ways to.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the bosses look cool. I think their designs are immaculate, but you know, it's it's just more of the same. I mean, a little variety here and there, sure, but I'm at the Fox right now in the castle. I'm sure that's the Fox in the castle.
Yeah, and another thing is that this game is like really like big. Like I wasn't expecting like the map to be like.
Well,
this
maybe
big,
that's
honestly.
maybe that's not a good that's not a good thing. I don't know. It feels kind of especially when you're trying to figure out where to fucking go. I mean, you got to keep finding the grace points to keep leading you in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, it just gets you just want to like.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I do agree that they should have like made it a little bit more like linear in that sense, you know, because I did get lost because I didn't know what to do after I beat a certain boss.
Yeah,
and I got lost. So what I had to do was that I had to go online and Google where to go after.
Really? Wait, if you got lost, you sound like you know what you're talking about in regards to this game. And if you got lost, then I can't even imagine how lost I'm gonna fucking get. Because I got lost after Godric. Because the map's so fucking big, it's like they want you to go in a little general direction, and they're telling you to basically cover, I don't know how many square fucking miles. It's like, bro, you can't just give someone a general direction when the goddamn map is as big as fucking like 5 million Titanics combined, you know? How many football fields? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, just letting you know, if you do plan to keep playing the game, right after Godric and like that whole map, there's like other maps like right after that one. So it's like,
oh yeah, believe me, I know really the world is big. I mean, I'm at the area where everything's like flooded or some shit, and I hate that area. But I mean, I got to the Fox boss in the castle, so still haven't beat that.
Yeah. Anyways, but I don't know. I still like the game. I do agree with you on some points where they should have made it more linear and in certain aspects of the video game. So I do agree with that, but so far I still like the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Alrighty, I think we're having some connection issues here, and that is unfortunate. Well, we're going to close the lines down here, and we're going to see if we can make sure that let's lower the bit rate a little bit. I don't know why we would be having connection issues. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. It's just one of those things. I'll lower the bit rate to see if it stabilizes a tad bit better. If it doesn't, we don't have too much battery life anyway, but it says we have 34 minutes left on the battery, so we only got 34 minutes left anyway. I hope this rebounds for the last 34 minutes of the show because it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Let's go through the list here as we wait for this to restabilize. Let me know if we're live in the chat. Okay, I'm going to pull the chat back up to see if we're still good. It's green right now, but I know it's going to fluctuate back down to red. Superman, Spaceman coming through with the 2-time Tony Hawk combo, and he's popping the...
Jay Vadenaya donated $10 through Super Chat. You're awesome, Mike.
Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate that. Jay coming through with a $10 Super Chat. That's what we're talking about, coming through in a way that makes sense. Jay coming through with a $10 Super Chat. We got connection issues on top of this here. We're trying to get through it. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry with the 2-time Tony Hawk combo. Josh Peck, I'm a Devil, Perp Al, Knave Mine, Josh Sullivan, Donator, Butters, Donator, Shadows 99, Dethex 33, ZZ1, Night, Midnight Shepherd, 2-time Tony Hawk combo, Nicholas, Michael Gable.
Silent Shell donated £17.99 through Super
shit,
Chat.
Baby.
Hey man, it's your favorite viewer. Just a heads up, a popular Instagram meme page posted a screenshot of your terrible Twitter take on Elden Ring and it got 17,000 likes. The reception was mostly negative in the comments. Men holding hands, men holding hands, men holding hands.
So they took a screenshot of my Twitter. Did they crop out my username? Because that's usually what they do. That's what they do on 4channel anyway. They crop out my my tag and, so... I mean, that tweet went viral, so I don't really care. It's probably all over the place or whatever. Everyone's got opinions on things. Silent Shill coming through. I think you're the current king of the jungle here today, folks. Silent Shill coming through with the Bruce Wayne bucks. Nearly $20 super chat. Let's give you the current king of the jungle symbol. And let's go through this list again here as we have a terrible internet connection here today. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry with the 2-time Tony Hawk combo. Josh Peck, I'm a Devil, Perp Al, appreciate the support, your generosity, keeping the show afloat. And are we having connection problems as well? I was wondering why the viewers were so low. I think we had connection problems for way fucking too long. Let's go ahead and do one more round of Skype here. Let's open up the lines, 818-284-4568. That's the number to call in. So far, if you're just tuning in, Elden Ring gets a 4 out of 10 from me. The honeymoon phase is starting to slowly but surely dissipate. Maybe we need to give it a little bit of a break and come back to it later, and maybe my opinion will fluctuate. But right now, I think I'm going to hold on the 4 out of 10. I think we're going to hold on the 4 out of 10. I think that's where Elden Ring sits for me right now. I'm going to give it a break, though. I think we need a little bit of a break from that. I've been playing that since it came out, I think, on Thursday, Friday of last week. So, it's been a little while, nearly a week, and maybe we're burnt out on Elden Ring. I'm not entirely sure. But, again, if the score goes back up, we'll let you know. But we are going to have to move on to other games as they come. So, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out in a couple of weeks from now, and WWE. So we're going to have to keep the wheels moving around here, and the Elden Ring content might start to dissipate a little bit more because as we move into March, there's more games coming out that we would like to cover. And Elden Ring is going to... Elden Ring is still going to be there, so we can always come back. Let's go. Hello, you're on the air. Yeah, I don't even know. I literally... Nothing worthwhile, obviously. Hello, you're on the air.
All right. I just want to dip into your comment really quick about Skyrim and how you said that...
Here we go.
You played 70 hours of Skyrim before playing the main quest, right?
I don't know about 70. I mean...
Well, let's just say, a decent amount of time before you dipped into the main quest, right?
Yeah.
But what you're essentially doing right now is trying to get through the single player of this game, not the single player, but, trying to get through the main thread as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But...
Well, in Skyrim, there was towns to explore and talk to people, and you could actually do jobs in Skyrim. You could cut fucking wood and get money for it, So I was like doing shit like that because I'm a weirdo. You know what I mean? It's like Shenmue. I'll kind of, it's like one of these weird games where it's like a life simulator on top of a goddamn, RPG type thing. But this game doesn't have that. If this game had like towns and shit, you could like talk to people, like that'd be killer. I think then it would be a 10 out of 10. I think that's maybe the direction they should try and go in next, because I don't know where you can go from this. I mean, I think they would, presumably continue in the open world direction, but if they just do the same thing that they did here in Elden Ring, I mean, I don't know if that's enough.
I'm just curious, because I don't want to watch the stream as far as because you're past my point at this time. What's the most interesting side piece of content you did in this game so far that isn't the main going through Godric, going through Margit? What's the most interesting thing that you've come across?
Well, there was a painting, and it said, something about I can't remember what it said, but they basically find the location, and something potentially is going to be there or is going to happen. But that's a lot of work. So I mean, the map's fucking huge, and they want me to find this fucking, the location of this painting, and it's like, well, I could, but I mean, good luck.
There's a ton of like we've been talking about, side questy stuff that you run into.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's not few and far between. It is very spread out.
Yep.
It's not incredibly, I mean, I'd say it's dense, but the thing is that, like I said, maybe you do need to take a break, but when you come back to it, I wouldn't try to, even Stormgate Castle has a ton of shit you can go around. Like, I have notes on Stormgate Castle, and I like pop in and out of there, because there's a ton of like mini bosses around that you could summon.
Yeah, bosses, bro. I mean, come on, you gotta give me something more than that.
That's the whole game. That's
I know. Well, then that's why I'd rather take what I applied to, what I've learned from Elden Ring, and maybe apply it to like a game like that's more linear, like Bloodborne, because maybe I'll appreciate the linear style more. To be totally frank.
That could be. I mean, yeah.
This is the end. This is the true entry point for me, and maybe the open world isn't ticking as much as I'd like it to. But that's why I literally, if this game weren't open world, I wouldn't have played it. I'm going to tell you that right now, because I like open world games if they're done right. Most of them aren't done right, and then they get really fucking boring, and it's just filler shit. But maybe this will help me appreciate the older games more, since they're a little bit more focused in terms of a little more linear.
Yeah, since it's a boss rush, that does make sense. All right, yeah. Well, I recommend give that a shot. I'll take it easy.
Alrighty, folks, these connection issues are annoying, but there's nothing that I can do. I lowered the bit rate, and just seems like one of those days. But we'll be back live tonight for Midnight Callers, since the weather's nice out here, so you guys got to start cooperating out here, I'll tell you that. Shape up and get done. It's as simple as that. We're going to have to start covering Grand Theft Auto 5, and we're going to have to start covering WWE. So I think we're going to give this game a break here, but right now as it stands, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, okay? The reason why I'm giving it a 4 out of 10 is because I think I like how I think the graphics are fine. I mean, it could be a little bit better, I guess, but overall I think the art direction, I think the creatures, I think all that looks interesting and intriguing, and there's some creative shit going on with the designs and that sort of thing, so that's where the 4 mostly comes from. I mean, I'm not saying the game isn't fun. It's definitely fun, and it can be addicting, but just because it is addicting, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best thing since sliced bread. So, we're just going to have to wait and see. Maybe we'll come back to it later on down the road, but I think that last night was just the tipping point for me with this game. It just became a total snooze fest. I was literally laying down, trying to push through this shit, trying to say, you know what, let's keep at it. We got to the next boss. It's the same old fucking story. Learn the dance, execute.
Naomi16 donated £4.49 through Super Chat. Michael, stop lying and trolling. You know you love Eden Ring. You are very good actor. Deserves Oscar. Men holding hands.
Whatever, dude.
Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands.
Oh, Lord.
Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands. Men holding hands.
Ain't nobody
men
lying, bro.
hands.
Dude, no one's
men
allowed to change their mind. Like, come on, bro. We're in the honeymoon phase. You guys can't. You guys are going to hate this game in 2 weeks from now when you're bored as fuck out of it. That's what happened with all these games. Halo as well. Like, oh, Halo Infinite's so amazing. Halo Infinite's so amazing. 2 weeks later, no one's talking about Halo Infinite, barely.
Men holding hands. Men holding
That's what happens
hands.
with a lot of games.
Men holding
Come on.
hands. High voltage sign.
Oh, my God.
High voltage sign. 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 high voltage sign, 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 high voltage sign,
Come on,
high
dude.
voltage sign.
There's no reason to donate all that. Jesus Christ. But we appreciate the support nonetheless. Naomi coming through. Ain't nobody trolling out here, bro. Like, no one's allowed to change their mind. Dude, what do you want me to tell you? You know? Like, I've already figured out the game in the sense that, you know, the core gameplay loop is the same. And once I got lost after fighting Godric and defeating Godric, mind you, the game wasn't as fun as it once was. So I spent 2 hours on the horse. It's the same old bullshit. Find the grace points. You know, look, there's some more new enemies that look cool. Okay, do we want to fight them? No, because it's too hard. Let's just kind of keep on track. Let's go to the Fox. You know, I'm not saying like, you know, obviously the setting, the enemies within that. Within the you know, like the environments, the enemies, their design, everything. That's why it gets a 4, because all that shit's pretty good. But I mean, if that's all the game has to offer, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are in the honeymoon phase. That's why this conversation is going to be a lot more interesting once, you know, another week or so has passed and people can let the thoughts marinate a little bit, because right now it's still brand new and shiny. You know, I mean, if you have a normal life, you probably can't invest too much time into, you know, this game, and that's why people are probably, you know, chipping away at it. For those who are not having the gamer life, you know, sitting around eating Doritos all day, smoking blunts, and playing Elden Ring 24/7, and while they're on Discord. So I mean, that's basically the gamer life, right? So if you don't have the gamer life, you're probably chipping away at this. And like I said, I think the conversation's going to be a little bit more interesting as the thoughts marinate. And the gamers can come out, and you know, if they fix the PC version a little bit more. There was an update for the PC version, I believe, today, maybe last night, I'm not sure. I know it updated nonetheless. I don't know what that did. It was a small update, but probably not too much, if I had to be honest with you. But hopefully it fixed some of the issues. But look, we're gonna stop talking about Elden Ring. We got a lot to move on to, a lot to cover. So this is probably going to conclude our Elden Ring coverage here. Yeah, and I know that's going to upset some people, but I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not going to sit around and play a game where I need to have the pillow equipped. You know? I mean, I have to have the pillow equipped to be ready to fall asleep when I'm playing this game, because it's just starting to feel not fun. It's starting to feel like, okay, we've seen this already before. We know what the grace is. You know, I mean, we start to get familiar with the source material, and we start to not maybe be as excited as we initially were. And I think that's going to be an issue that a lot of people face, is that once they get a little bit more familiar with the game, they put some more time into it, it's going to start to feel similar and a little samey. And you could argue that happens with every game. Sure, it does. But, you know, this game is just boss battle after boss battle after collecting and killing everything that moves on the screen. That's ultimately where the cookie crumbles. So with that said, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show. And speaking of those that did support the show, let's go through the list one last time here. Spaceman coming through, popping the cherry with the 2-time Tony Hawk combo. Josh Peck, I'm a Devil, Perp L, Naive Mind, Josh Sullivan, Donator, Butters, Donator, Shadows99, Defects33, ZZ1, Midnight Shepherd with a 2-time Tony Hawk combo, Nicholas, Michael Cabell, Death-Sided, Jay, Silent Chill, Kurt King of the Jungle, and Naomi. That's who we have on the list here today. We appreciate your support, your generosity, and we will see you later. It's over. Hey there, mister. Who let that simpleton out of the asylum?